Hi, I'm Matthew Cavalier and welcome back to my channel, Moments with Matthew. Welcome back, my loves. I am working on my consistency, so here we go. But before we get started on today's video, I want to make a couple of shameless plugs. One, I started a new podcast. It is live on Spotify. Right now it is set to come out every Friday, so you can give it a weekend listen. You can do it while you're walking around, driving around, doing errands, or just sitting at your table listening. So please do check it out. It is on Spotify and it is in the links below. So please do check it out, rate and review it so that we can start spreading the message through the podcast. I'm very excited about it because it gives me an opportunity to do a little bit of a more long form conversation with you. So that is my goal. It's either a little bit extra that I want to talk about either from a video or my blog, shameless plug number 2. Also down below, I do have a WordPress blog. I've got a couple of new written things up there, so please do check that out as well. But it allows me in the podcast to add on to something I've been talking about in the blog or what I've talked about in the videos. It also allows me to just kind of pose questions and kind of think about what those are. So please do check out the blog and the podcast, which is on Spotify. Links are below. So let's get started. Today I want to talk about the self-love sabotage. Those things that we do that stop us from truly embracing who we are as we are right now. Don't get me wrong, I do these things all the time. Let's talk a little bit about the thing that tends to happen a lot around the new year, diets. A lot of people go on diets right after the start of the new year. For some reason, they feel like, oh, well, that's the time I should start thinking about it. I guess this is a good time as any to do it. New year, new me kind of thing. But let's talk about how these diets can be self-sabotaging. Now, you know that I've had a pretty interesting weight loss journey, more of a roller coaster yo-yo thing going on. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I did lose about 50 pounds, which was amazing. And thanks to a pandemic and not being as mindful as I had in the past, I slipped and probably gained about 25 or 30 of it back. Well, before the new year, I did start focusing again on my eating, and it wasn't going so well. And so I really started to do Noom, started going back to the gym. I'm training for a 10K. All of those things are awesome. But what does that have to do with self-love sabotage? Well, I'm going to tell you. One of the things that I was doing prior to getting started, and when I look at the scale even now that I'm doing those things and the scale isn't doing what I had hoped, I don't say to myself all the time, all right, we know what we have to do. We're going to try harder today. We're going to look at it. We're going to be more mindful. We're going to journal about this. No, a lot of the times I say, God, you are so stupid. Why are you so fat? Why can't you get this together? And I really start to self-sabotage what I have already created for myself. That's not fair to me, and that is no way for me to be successful in that dieting process. And it doesn't have to be diets. It can be whatever you are working on for self-love. One of the things that I read about many years ago, it was in a diet book called You on a Diet by Dr. Roizen and Dr. Mehmet Oz. Let's not talk about how problematic Dr. Oz is right now. And I will say, this quote is pretty much the only thing I pulled from that diet book on my own. So it's not really one that I recommend. Again, we know Dr. Oz is problematic, so I'm not even going to touch on that. What I do love is this quote. When you are on a diet or anything that you are trying to improve, you have to think of it the way a GPS would think about it. If you miss the turn, the GPS doesn't say, oh my God, you are so stupid. Turn around. I told you to turn back there, you idiot. No, The GPS says, at the next available safe spot, make a U-turn and get back on track. That's the way we need to be talking to ourselves. If we can't talk to ourselves with the love and compassion that we need to yet, then we need to start with the idea of the GPS. Totally non-judgmental, totally, hey, that was the turn back there. Just go ahead and make a U-turn and you can get right back on track. Not the most loving and warm, but if you are struggling with that self-hatred and that self-anger that we have when we mess up, then that GPS's non-judgmental tone is the best for us. If we can go a little further and we can say, you know what, I love you, we made a little bit of an oops, we know what we need to do next, let's turn around and let's get it fixed. I love you still, no matter the mistake you made, no matter the oops you had. So if we can't talk to ourselves that way, think of the ways that we can talk to ourselves in a more non-judgmental way. Hey, you know what you got to do? Let's turn around, let's fix it, and then we'll move forward again. Whatever you are most comfortable with. What is not appropriate is that angry way that we treat ourselves. Oh, what do you mean you didn't get that project done? Why are you so fucking lazy all the time? Oh, it just proves my point. You have always been so stupid. Why do we talk to ourselves like that? We wouldn't talk to someone we truly loved like that. So why, the person we are supposed to love the most, would we talk to ourselves that way too? So don't fall into that trap of the self-love sabotage. We deserve better than that. And again, if you can't talk to yourself with the love and compassion, talk to yourself in at least the non-judgmental way. I have tried so many different diets. I have tried so many different things to control my weight. And what I have done is saying to myself, instead of trying to always say, God, you are so fat, it's never going to happen. I can't believe how reckless you are. I can't believe how stupid you are for letting yourself gain this weight back. I have started to do little things that make me feel better about myself. One of the things I was noticing is I was dressing down so much that I wasn't feeling good about the way I looked. Even if it hadn't been for weight gain, I wouldn't be feeling good about the way I looked in my schlubby clothes and always in that dressed down way. That wasn't making me feel good about myself. So I started dressing up. I started making an effort. Even though I work from home every single day, I get up, I take my shower, I do my hair, I moisturize, I get some nice clothes on, and that really helps me focus on the work that I need to be doing. And then I decided, you know what? I want to experiment a little. So I've been experimenting with eyeliner, with blushes, with highlighters, with even some eyeshadows. Does that make everybody happy? No. Do I feel good about myself? Yeah, I do. Am I doing it right? Absolutely not. Would a makeup artist go, what have you done? Probably, but I don't care. I love it. It makes me feel good about myself. And I don't do it every single day, but when I feel like I need that little extra boost, I'll throw some stuff on and see how I look. It's part of being able to take a few moments, look at myself in the mirror, highlight and enhance some of the things about myself that I love. If that's not something you want to do, start making a list of the little things that you love about yourself. Maybe your butt's looking really good in those jeans today. Give yourself a compliment in the mirror. Maybe you like the way you smile. Smile a little more in the mirror. Get those smiles back from people. Maybe you just like the way your shoulders look. It doesn't matter what it is or how silly you think someone else will say, well, that's a dumb thing to like about yourself. No, it isn't. Anything that you can grab onto and say, I really like that about myself, that is worth it. Grab onto it. take that little kernel and hold on to it and love on it and tell yourself how great you look, how great this looks, how great this part of your body makes you feel, how great this part of your personality makes you feel. All of these things are important to fight off that self-love sabotage that we continue to do to ourselves. That sabotage is not your friend. It is not the way to talk to yourself. It is not the way to self-development and self-improvement. Only self-love can do that. And it's kind of like going to the bank and that old joke that you have to have money to borrow money. Well, you do have to have a little bit of self-love to grow your confidence in self-love. So that's what we have to practice. Whether it's the mirror work I've talked to you about over and over and over again, or finding those little bitty things about yourself. Because you can start making a list of, oh, I really do like this. I know it's small, but I like this about myself. Oh, I like this about myself. And those little things build up for you. And that becomes such a great way to start loving yourself, because it's like a snowball down a mountain. It starts to really feel like, wow, there are some really great things about me. And then you build and you build and you build. And that's what I want for you. I want you to build your self-love and your confidence. Because when you can build that self-love and confidence, that's how we start to do better on our improvement plans, on our goals, on our daily intentions. Because it's through that self-love and confidence that we are going to accomplish everything our heart desires. Do you know someone who needs to hear this message? Please do share it with them, and please do click that like button so that it does help the channel, and do click the subscribe button and the bell so you are notified the next time a Moment with Matthew video comes out. Check on Spotify for our new podcast, and do check my links for the WordPress for our blog that is updated from time to time. It really is when I get an idea in my head that I just can't get out and I want to write about it. So do check out my blog as well. It goes back all the way to 2013, so you can kind of see my spiritual and emotional health development over the last few years. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on A Moment with Matthew.